Cypress Truck Lines and Sunbelt Transport, we're 100% company drivers. It's all assigned equipment. We don't do owner operators. We don't take on lease purchase, which in a lot of ways is a huge benefit to our fleet of drivers that we have here. Richard has drove for us, obviously was on the road. He did regional, he did short haul, he did some local stuff. So he's experienced a little bit of everything, and I'll let him speak to his experience a little bit here shortly. But as far as our process goes for you there in the North Carolina area, we have a terminal in Leland, right there by Wilmington. And the process for us is once you put in your application, we're going to look at your MVR, your background, your work history. If everything matches up and we're able to get you approved and you decide to join, what we would do is get you a rental car down here to Jacksonville, Florida. There'd be a week of orientation. That's really where you're doing your DOT drugs, DOT physical, drug screen. We do a hair follicle for those of you that need to know that.
It goes a year back.
It goes back up to a year, and then you're going to be looking at instructional videos. You'll be out here on the yard kind of learning the fundamentals, laying the foundation for your training. That way when you do get paired with your trainer after orientation, you have some knowledge of what to expect, which is important. It helps your trainer out. It's going to help you out as well. After orientation, you'll be paired with a trainer. Most of our trainers are regional drivers that go home on the weekends. For those of you who are paired with a trainer that might not live in your area, when they go home, we would put you up in a hotel. Otherwise, our training trucks, they're all double bunks. And again, that 7 weeks is crucial to your long-term success. So coming in, understanding that load securement is a huge part of what we do. Obviously, to help you be successful in managing your time, the more efficient you are coming out of training and knowledgeable you are, the more successful you're going to be, like I said. And inevitably, coming out of training, there's only so much you can learn with somebody else sitting next to you. There's going to be some things that you're going to have to get comfortable with and figure out on your own, to where it starts becoming second nature. And that's where things really start to take place. So I always tell people, once you get in your own truck, make sure you crawl before you walk, and let things come together. And as long as you're communicating well with your dispatcher and you're managing your time well, when you're out there running, you're working, taking 10-hour breaks and not taking 14-hour breaks, that's going to be a huge help for your miles and ultimately which you can make on a weekly basis. And so with that said, orientation, we're going to arrange your transportation down here, take care of your lodging, give you $100 a day, give you $15 a day on top of that for meals. Once you get into training, we're going to pay you $500 per week. And at the end of that 7 weeks, you're going to be assigned your own equipment. And so no matter where you're at in North Carolina, you'll be taking your equipment home with you. You just got to have a safe and secure place to park it. And then, it could be a truck stop, could be a secure lot that you have signed permission from.
I do believe too, right, is if you live within 50 miles of the terminal, you're required to park.
Yeah, now if there are any students right now in class, if you live within 50 miles of our terminal, then you would park at our Leland terminal up there. And then the position that you're ultimately going to be going into, all of our recent grads start off in a regional position. That gives all of our recent grads the ability to go home every single weekend. If they want to, they can. If they don't want to, you don't have to go home. You can stay out and run. Everybody that's in school or in class has a different mentality, different mindset on how they're wanting to run. They have different home lives. So, some of you all might have, family at home that wants you home as much as possible. And I think that's one of the important things that we do offer is when you come out of school, you're going to start off at 49 cents a mile, all miles, and have the ability to be home every weekend. So that's a huge benefit and comfort knowing that you can go home on the weekends if you want to. Now, something that gets asked us a lot, just to set the expectations, set the record straight, is what does a weekend look like? Your weekends all depend on what you're coming off of and what you're pre-planned on. We talked a Coffee the other day, Kevin Coffee, about how he does, and it's all about managing your time through the week. But for the most part, you know, there's going to be times where you get home early Friday. There's going to be times where you get home Saturday morning. There's going to be times where you leave out Sunday night. There's going to be times where you leave out Monday morning. It all just depends on what you're coming off, what you're pre-planned on, how you manage your time during that week to put you in position to get home. But regardless, we always put our drivers in position that are regional to get home on the weekends. Now, once you've hit your 5 to 6 month mark and you've proven yourself from a safety standpoint and a time management standpoint, then that's going to open up the doors to some more opportunities. You can either stick with regional where you can be home. That's where, you know, even a lot of experienced drivers come here to be able to run regional. They're tired of being OTR and, you know, want to find something where they can, you know, still make the type of money they can make being OTR. But get home. Yeah, with the benefit of home time. So with that being said, at your 6 month mark, you can decide to stay regional. You can start stretching it out. If you want to go OTR, you can go OTR. For some of you, depending on where you live, you know, Charlotte, Samora, Norfolk, Virginia, Wilmington area, you know, we have short haul local opportunities that you can work into. So keep that in mind. So there's a lot of flexibility here with that. Richard, I don't know if there's anything that you want to speak to in regards to these students being in the situation they're in right now. And, you know, obviously flatbedding's a big thing with what we do. And, you know, there's so many students trying to figure out what their best option is. What's going on, Roy? Pre-pass, that's the other thing. Roy, tell them what a pre-pass is.
That gets you through your way stations, your agricultural stations, and this one's got also with the Sun Pass, Toll Pass.
And Toll Pass.
So what he's got right is connected.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where we got disconnected there, but we were talking about his pre-pass tolls and all that. That's what he got right there. So it gets you through all the
Way stations, agricultural stations, and toll roads.
So pretty cool deal there. You're all set.
All set, heading to Fort Myers. Well, actually, I'm going to the house. It goes right by the house. It don't deliver till tomorrow.
Perfect. All right,
Going
brother.
for dinner,
We'll
brother.
see, man.
Have a good day.
And see, that's another thing. Like Roy said, you know, his load delivers in Fort Myers tomorrow, so you know, gives you an opportunity. You can swing by the house, take a shower at your house,
Yeah.
eat dinner with the family, and then tomorrow, you know, wake up early, ride down, and you know, or even the night before, ride down and get to your consignee.
Yeah, no doubt, and that is a benefit depending on where you live at. You know, along 85, along 75. You know, some of the along 95, some of our major travel corridors. You know, our drivers are inevitably through the week are going to have loads that swing past the house, and a lot of them will, you know, drop in there, take their 10 break, and then, you know, keep on going. So, but again, you know, one of the big things, big questions for, you know, recent grads is, you know, they like everything that comes with flatbedding, and I guess to touch on some of the benefits is the home time, the pay. You're not waiting for loads.
No, about 85% of what you guys are going to haul is going to be pre-tarped, and you know, it's going to have straps already on it. All you're going to have to do is put bungees, maybe throw an extra strap or two, edge protectors, because we do haul drywall, and tighten it down and roll. And you know, when I was running a short haul here at Cypress, I was hauling 2 loads a day. You know, that's, you know, delivering a load in the morning, picking up another load, and bringing it back to the yard. And I could get in and out of most of our preload shippers in under 50 minutes, you know, in and out the gate, find my trailer, strap it, get it going, and get back out onto the road in under an hour. You know, it comes with time. You guys, you know, like Clay says, crawl before you walk and walk before you run. You know, flatbed, you got to take your time. That's the biggest thing. You guys get in a rush, that's when mistakes happen. We don't like mistakes, so we want you guys to take your time till you get comfortable enough to pick up the pace.
Yep. You'll hear it, and there's going to be a lot of things that you all learn as you move into this industry that you might have wished you knew at the beginning, but you know, inevitably, like I said, some things you're going to have to figure out on your own. And one of the things you'll hear around here a lot, you know, time is everything, but you'll hear we don't haul body parts. So there's nothing that's worth, you know, first and foremost, risking your life or risking anybody else's life that's out there on the road. So keep that in mind. You know, we just need you to communicate. If you get in a situation where you're not going to make your delivery, you need to call your dispatcher. That way they can give notice, you know, to the appropriate person, things of that nature. But I think more importantly, with where you all are at, we want to give you an idea of what some of these different types of loads look like and what you can expect. And like Richard was saying, is the fact that the majority of our loads are preloaded, pre-tarped. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to come in and hook to the trailer and take off. You got to inspect the loads, see what else needs to be done, because there's going to be, you know, loads that you're going to have to throw extra straps. There's going to be loads that you have to put more bungees on. You know, things. It just depends on where you're picking them up at and what the material was. So I'm going to follow Richard around here and let him explain to you some of these different types of loads and what you can expect to pick up.
But yeah, the one thing that I love about Cypress is the preloaded feature, you know, where all of our freight is preloaded. Like this load right here is actually one that if you came onto the yard, you'd hook to it. You know, you do your inspection. You always want to look at the freight before you pull off, you know, because some guy might, you know, take a couple of his portables back off of that load, which in the case looks like here. This guy might have had a little bit more straps on this, but he pulled his portables off so he keeps his equipment. Always look, this one's about, you know, I would say 85% ready to rock and roll. All you gotta do is throw a couple portables on it, roll out the gate. But we also, you know, this is a kind of a rarity. You know, when you mainly get these when you come out of the terminals and you're coming in for a load swap. We got a couple loads like over here.
Just to stop you real quick, but this one only needed one tarp.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. You're gonna have some longer loads and
Yep.
some shorter loads.
Yeah, and like the preload, like my biggest thing is like I worked for another flatbed company before I came to Cypress, and about, I would say it was opposite. About 85% of my loads were live load. So I was having to go into the shipper, wait up to, you know, it could be as quick as 30 minutes or up to 11 hours to get freight. And then I'd have to pull it out, I'd have to put the tarps on myself, bungee it, strap it, and get it ready to go.
Yeah.
This eliminates that. This is, you pull in, your load, you know, 85% of the time is gonna be sitting there on a trailer, ready to go. So all you're gonna have to do is drop your empty, hook up to it, tighten your straps, put some edge protectors, whatever the load requires to haul, and then we're going out the gate. You know, you're gonna cut your load times down significantly. You know, but we got one load down here that's actually, you know, one of our USG loads out of the Jacksonville plant that's almost ready to go. This is what you're typically gonna see coming into our plant. Is, you know, it's got the tarp on it, it doesn't have many bungees, and it doesn't have the edge protectors. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come to the yard, you're gonna, you know, and you're gonna finish it up. But that looks a whole lot better to me than having to throw those heavy tarps myself. You know, so most of your work's gonna come from unloading, pulling the tarps off, folding them up, rolling them, and getting them up on the deck of the trailer and strapping them down. But your loading times are gonna be significantly shorter. So you're going to be able to quickly get in and out and get back on the road, because you know the motto is the wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. You know, and this keeps it. You know, Cypress has got this method down packed where they try to keep the driver's wheels turning at all costs, so it makes you more money in the long run. But you know, you guys, like I said, you want to take your time when securing it, because you might miss a strap. You always want to look under the tarp. You look at your bill of lading, see what's underneath there. You know, we got a couple of loads, like this one's already pretty much done. You know, it's already strapped, ready to roll. You see how it's got all the edge protectors at the top of the drywall. You know, you guys want to, you know, keep up with your straps and all that, make sure everything's tight, make sure everything's good. If you look behind, we got a load, what I call the flatbedder's bread and butter, is shingles. It's one of our rare loads that is a non-tarped load. So you come in, you strap it, edge protector, out the gate you go. You're done.
Perfect. So that about covers everything for now?
Yeah, one thing, like I said, I came from another flatbed company, and I chose Cypress for one reason and one reason only. Because they treat their drivers like family. My last company, I was a truck number. You know, here, you know, all my dispatchers knew me by name. Clay knows me by name. Everyone knew me by name. There was more of a family there. So if something happened, you know, it wasn't like, you know, oh, we'll have to get you a load and get you home. No, I had an instance where my son ended up in the hospital. and I called one of the dispatchers. Within 10 seconds of me saying my son was in the hospital, put the truck in gear, bring it back to the Jack's yard. Don't stop, get here.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I think the culture and the dynamic here is what's really separates us from a lot of others. And there's a lot of great companies out there. You all are going to have a hard decision to make. We obviously take pride in what we do, and that is one of the things that I like. We're running about 500 trucks company-wide. We've got terminals in Jacksonville, Florida, Tampa, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Wilmington, North Carolina, which Leland, South Pitt, Tennessee, and Abilene, Texas. So we're really, southeast and southwest based. But even for OTR drivers, that's a lot of drivers that are really successful here that want kind of that where they're not out 4 or 5 weeks at a time, but they don't need to go home every weekend. We got a lot of drivers here that run what we consider OTR and go home every other weekend, which is a huge benefit. Your average length of haul is going to be longer. You're going to make more miles, but you're still going to have that consistent home time. But having that flexibility to determine your home time within reason or within what we offer is an awesome thing. And so what you'll see here at the Jackson, one thing I want to touch on, we got a wide variety of equipment. We got Pete's, Freightliners, Internationals, KWs, and typically how it's distributed is, local short haul drivers get the older equipment, regional and OTR drivers get the newer equipment. Is how it's distributed. And we have a great maintenance program here, so the equipment's well taken care of, kept up with, and like I said, we take a lot of pride in what we do, but we hope to see you all. If you have any questions, I know I didn't cover everything. This is a shorter presentation than typically a recruiter that comes in. We'll do some longer presentations, but we just wanted to give you an inside look at what you can expect from what we do as a flatbed company, because every company is different. Every flatbed company is not the same. And like he said, home time, preloaded, pre-tarp freight, and I think that's why a lot of people come here, is because you can still stay active, but you're not breaking your back every single load for the most part. So,
and one thing too that I was short haul, so I got older equipment. Nothing wrong with that older equipment, but you show, Cypress is one of these companies too. If you put forth, Cypress is going to give back. So I was here a short time, and got the opportunity and the privilege to upgrade my truck to a nice long hood Pete that we had on the yard. You remember my gray long hood?
Oh, yeah.
That was actually designated for an OTR driver, but because of my hard work and my work ethic and what I put towards Cypress basically gave back to me.
Yeah, no question. So again, this is something that I tell people often. This is a job. This is work. It's not easy all the time, but it's rewarding. You can make a really good living. You can make good money. And it's all about your mentality and what you make of it. But you got to come in and you got to be accountable. And again, you do those things. You communicate well with your dispatch. You manage your time well, and you stay safe. The sky's the limit here. We got a lot of drivers who have been here 15, 20, 25 years. We've got several drivers that are been here 30 years.
Multi-million safe mile drivers.
No question. So it's again, it's an open door policy. You're going to get to know us in recruiting. You're going to get to know dispatch. You're going to get to know the instructors. Our trainers are awesome. Great resource to lean on once you get in your own truck. But again, if you have any more questions, call recruiting 800-545-1351. And you can talk to myself, Darlene, Jordan, or Lynn. And so we hope to talk to y'all. We hope to see y'all, and hope you enjoyed this. We'll do more videos. Talk to your instructors at the school up there. If there's more things that you would like to see as a student, we'd be more than happy to share that with you. So just, give us a call, even call us, and we'll do more videos specifically for you all there at TransTech. We want to make sure that when you do get here, if you choose to come here, that again, your expectations are met coming in the door. So best of luck in getting your Class A CDL.